Hello, folks. Welcome to a review and thoughts on. I had seen the trailer to this movie, and it had me interested. Hey, it's a old throwback, 80s, 90s horror, psychological, somewhat supernatural, maybe, but not real. It's not really supernatural. Um, I mean, it's basically this guy, guy named David, who he's taking care of his mom who has dementia, so he can't really work. He has to stay and take care of her 24/7 pretty much. Um, and he's lonely. He tries taping, date taping, I guess, or was this a thing in the 90s and 80s where you would record like a tape of yourself and then you send it out to see whoever you match up with? It's pretty much a dating tape, way before, I guess, eHarmony and all that. But was that a thing, I guess, back in the day? Unlike now. Um, but yeah, he's pretty much he's a nice guy. He's awkward. He's in his 40s. He's just trying to find somebody, and trying to take care of his mom. So he's a caregiver. Um, Even when he does, like, he makes a tape for, like, for them to send it out to whoever sees it, like, he makes, like, a decent, you know, um, information on him, and then the guy that's taping him, he's like, that's too long, we need to shorten that down, and then he's all awkward about it, and then they send the one that he's awkward tape it out, instead of the first one that was really genuine. But then pretty much the movie, it's him taking care of his mom and then bonding with this tape that he finds at this dating building or whatever, called Rent a Pal, and played by Will Wheaton, the guy on the tape, who pretty much, he's basically a companion, friendship, uh, charismatic type of person on the tape. But see, now I'm more confused on, was this somewhat supernatural, but not really. Maybe it was on his like, spots of it were in his. I started thinking more I started getting more Joker vibes in this. Yeah, I know that doesn't make sense. What I mean is, it's a guy taking care of his mom who has, mental uh, stuff going on. He's lonely. He's the underdog. Can't really win ever. Life is down on his luck, and right when he thinks something good can happen, and then it just tumbles down. At one point, he meets a girl who, well, at first he gets a call from the dating tape agency or whatever, and they tell him, "Oh, you got a match," and then that he goes down there, and then it turns out, nope, not really. But then that girl shows up later on, and then she's available, and then they have a cool time at the skating rink, which is a decent. I like that scene between them talking. The actress, um, if I can get her name, probably Amy Rutledge, probably Amy something. But yeah, I thought the lady that played, uh, I forget her name, but her character. I liked her character. She's also, like him, a caregiver. She works with elderly people at the hospitals, and I liked their scene at the skating rink where she was talking to him about, sometimes a person needs to have balance in their life, and you can't always be, giving. You have to. Sometimes you deserve to be selfish. which is but then pretty much it is. Then the movie goes with him bonding with the tape, and even though, and at one point at first I didn't understand what was going on, because he was rewinding it, but it wouldn't rewind all the way at the beginning or wherever he wanted it to rewind. It kept staying at the part where Will Wheaton wanted to know what happened at the date. And because at first it wasn't registering with me at first, where why does he keep rewinding? And then, oh, I get it. It's not letting him rewind. So, wow. Just wow on my part. Yeah, that. So, parts of that. And then he drinks. So, maybe that, messes up his mindset a bit. Then he has anger issues, but then that's also rooted with. And then we get some story where his dad died 10 years ago. His mom, used to be tough on him, somewhat, I guess, abusive as well. They hint at that a bit. Also, Will Wheaton's character, apparently, I guess his mom went ballistic on him to where it made him throw up. But yeah, the character of David, I liked up to at the beginning and then the midway point. But then when he started to bond with the tape, and then he started blowing off the chick that was into him and is actually more common with him and would have been able to help him with his mom. At one point she does. She helps him find his mom, where she disappears at night, and then they find her and put her to bed, and then they're about to make out for a minute, and then Will Wheaton pops up on the screen and laughs at him, and then I didn't understand. I guess he blew his load to, because like she's touching his leg or whatever, and then he's like, oh, and then, so I guess that's what happened. I guess oh my god, a girl touched my leg. I'm doing I guess we can't do anything. And there's another scene where Will Wheaton's character on the tape. At one point, he's describing a scenario where, I guess, at one point he was with a girl, and they started banging at a hotel, and they could be as loud as they want. So he's describing this, and David's character, he's, I guess, gonna whack off to whatever, even though it's a dude on the screen describing it and talking. And I'm like, okay. And then his mom walks in and, disturbs him or interrupts what he was about to do. And then pretty much, yeah, the end is dumb, because, granted, it's not a downbeat ending, so I was sort of alright with that, but I don't know, like, I like the David character up to the midway portion, the middle of the movie, and then towards the end, I just hated him, because he's like, you know what, Andy's my friend, and I have to blow her off because he'll be mad at me. I'm like, dude, just rewind the tape to where you want to, because Will Wheaton's character's like, we made plans to play Go Fish or whatever. I'm like, just rewind the tape to that part. It's not like you can't just stop the tape and then go off. Why don't you just go off on the date and be like, or you could have just said, I forgot, even though, like, but again, it's a freaking tape. It's not like an actual person. It's not like he's interacting with him, like, for real online or anything. No, this is on tape. He shouldn't even be worried about it. He should be like, wait, what am I doing? I'll just fast forward, rewind it to where he's playing Go Fish, and then I'll join in. And the fact that, like, and even he's regretting it when he's playing Go Fish, because, like, he goes to that part, and then he's playing it, and then, and the tape's rigged with the game, so it's like, either way you lose, so it's like, what's the use of, hanging out with this tape when you're gonna lose at every freaking Go Fish? I'm not really a big fan of that game, but I would have been like, this is pretty bull. I could be banging some chick I'm on a date with. Instead, I'm with this guy. We're not even literally with him in person, but on tape and playing Go Fish. And I'm losing at every chance. Or, no, I have no chance. So it's... But yeah, pretty much the end is him. He gets stabbed by the chick, the lady that he was dating. At one point, he pushes his mom down the steps because Will Wheaton is possessing him, I guess, or whatever. And then he starts quoting him at one point. And the girl stabs him with scissors. And oh yeah, he goes ballistic because his mom somehow got the Rent-A-Pal tape. And then she started, I guess she starts taking it apart for what, I don't know. And then he freaks out and he bashes her with the tape across the face. And he runs down to the dating tape building. And then he's terrorizing people in there and asking for a Rent-A-Pal tape. And then he grabs two and then he gets it and he puts it in and he's like, oh, Will Wheaton. Or whatever, Andy. I'll never leave you, Andy, or whatever. Or don't ever leave me, or whatever. I'm like, dude, it's a tape. It's a freaking tape. And then he dies. Even when he dies, he has to watch the tape. Or listen to Andy. Like, I'm going to put this in even though he's the reason I'm bleeding out right now. I committed what I did. And the movie just ends with him sitting on the couch watching the tape. And then he dies. And then the tape ends. And then the movie ends. I'm like, whatever. It was directed and written and edited by John Stevenson. There was another movie I saw. It wasn't like it didn't have another movie I saw years and years ago. It was a very low budget film. It was sort of like the same thing, except it didn't have like it wasn't exact same plot, but it was the same character, where it was a guy who was lonely. He met a girl, except in that one he killed the girl. And then it was weird because like he would go to work and he would come back home, and her body would be like decaying. I don't remember the movie's name, but it seemed like at the end there was like a room filled with like flowers or something. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, I was getting those vibes from this movie. I mean, it's a okay indie flick. I wouldn't say go out and buy it or anything. Or I will say I like you can time really hits you when you're watching movies like this, where back in the day you have a VHS and you just pop a tape in and then you have to return them or whatever. Where now everything's online. So you don't even have to leave your house. You can just order it online. And I miss those days. Hollywood Video. Going to the video store, renting out a tape. Or buying a tape. Cool covers. But yeah, this was I can't even say I was let down by it, because I liked the trailer, but then now when I'm watching the movie and then I'm thinking about it more, it's just a time waster at best. Like, I wasn't really bored with it, but now I'm just like, yeah, I already know what happens. This guy's gonna go crazy or whatever. He's gonna kill people. Granted, it's not downbeat ending again because the girl lives, but I don't know. Anyway,